Matt Aguilar here from ComicBook.com. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking to the A champion, Carmelo Hayes, WWE NXT Champion, and looking to hold that on for No Mercy. How are you?
And friend of the show.
That's right. You know what? I never want to put that out there first, but you are an esteemed friend of the show, and I thank you for always giving us the time.
No doubt. Yeah, I'm amazing. How are you, bro? You good?
Yeah, doing good. I'm doing good. No Mercy is coming up,
Yep.
and you're going to be running it back with a familiar foe in Ilya. Your guys had a great match before, but this time, I don't know. It always seems like Ilya always raises, I don't know, a couple levels in like anger and aggression and stuff. So this one seems like it's going to be on a different level. What can you tell us about that the match itself, but also what he brings out in you as a competitor?
You know, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, as far as him raising his level of anger and aggression, I think that that's what I need to do to meet him in the middle. Because I mean, nobody's going to match Ilja Dragunov, but after our first encounter, I realized that I wasn't going to do my normal stuff. I was going to have to get in there and I was going to have to fight him. I was going to have to do his style. So now that I'm more prepared going into this in No Mercy, I think that that's what I got to bring to the table. I gotta go at him with what he brings at me. But as far as what he brings out of me, pretty much just that. He makes you realize that you are in a fight, and you either fight back or you get eaten alive. And I refuse, and I've never been, and I refuse to be eaten alive. And that's why I'm champion.
Well, it was nice too. You got a little, just like a little payback, so to speak, with throwing good old Dom into him, by accident. I don't know. Also, what is because with him, you're right. Everything it's a fight, and you're going to be in for that, and you've risen to the occasion, so many times. But what is the worst part of taking him on in the ring? Because I don't think he knows the meaning of like a soft punch. I mean, everything looks like it's just trying to go through you. Is it a strike? Is it a chop? Is it a particular move? What is the thing that like leaves a not so great memory when you're in the ring with him?
I wouldn't say there's anything in particular, just because he's so unpredictable. You don't know what to expect. But just the fact that you got to figure out what it takes to beat him. I mean, what's going to keep him down? What's going to keep him down long enough so I can get to the top rope and hit nothing but net? What's gonna hurt him? He seems like you can't break the guy. That's why going into this match, I'm coming in with a different IQ. Maybe it's to survive long enough to get him tired and then turn it up on him, or just to avoid certain things. I mean, that H-bomb almost took me out that last time. And I mean, that torpedo, he's hit me with it 2 or 3 times already, not in the match, thankfully. But I need to avoid that. There's a lot of things I'm trying to avoid in this match. I think my last match, I was a little bit defensive. I think this time I'm going to be a little bit more offensive in a lot of ways. I think that I need to come into this match and I need to, right from the gate, just start coming out, strong, just coming out, meet him there first before he has to wake it up out of me. I think I'm going to come right with it.
Well, and we referred to that moment from this past week where
Yeah.
You and Dom was a champion versus champion match. And it feels like lately Judgment Day has had a habit of showing up in NXT, mostly to help Dom, but also doing other things. What do you think of their presence there? And is there, someone on the roster right now that you would love to see take that title from him? Because you've had your own, interactions with Judgment Day back and forth.
Yep. I understand the game. Like I was on that other side of having, my buddy with me all the time and, just causing chaos. And, when you got a unit and you got a team and a family like that, it's hard. It's hard not to say, hey, we want everything. Somebody trying to stop me. I understand where they're coming from. As long as there's not, I'm the wrong guy to do it too. You know what I mean? Dom tried. He came along, thankfully, but I fell victim to Judgment Day 2 or 3 times. So I know exactly kind of what that takes. But I mean, as far as somebody taking that title, I got a lot of my money on Dragon Lee. I mean, Dom, he's been doing his thing as North American champion, but he's just been by the skin of his teeth every time pulling out those wins. And I think that, when he gets in there with Dragon Lee and Dragon Lee at the very best version of Dragon Lee, which will be at No Mercy. I think he's gonna do it. He's gonna take that from Dom for sure.
Well, and you mentioned, you have a unit, and how are things with you and Trick lately? It's just, I don't know, just things seem a little rockier than usual.
Yeah. No,
It,
yeah. It might come off that way, but it's we're cool. I mean, it's different, I think, for him in a lot of ways, because when you're rolling with the champ, things are going great. And, we're always on top and we're always, doing the damn thing. So I think it's a new kind of avenue for him not being, with me. And same thing, vice versa. You know what I mean? It's always great to have your boy running with you and, doing everything together and getting that kind of, you're kind of, it's a two-on-one situation no matter what, even if it's not meant to be that, so we're both navigating that kind of solo feel. But I've been by myself. I know what it takes to succeed by myself. So I think as far as for Trick, he's just trying to navigate these waters of being a single star now.
well, and I feel like some congrats are in order, because you coming in at number 13 on PWI 500. 70 was last year, and that's already impressive. But making that jump to kind of that top 15, almost top 10, is crazy. It's an awesome feat. And what does it feel like to be recognized like that and make that kind of jump? Just kind of being recognized for it and being in the conversation with some of the biggest stars in wrestling.
Yeah, I try not to take into consideration too much the opinionated rankings and numbers and things like that, just because I know that there's 100 talent who are so good that all deserve to be in the same position. You know what I mean? If not before. So like I try not to say, hey, look, I'm better than all these guys, because at the end of the day, I can learn from freaking 150 of them. You know what I mean? So I try not to take it too much stake into it. But I mean, it is an honor. It's always an honor to get ranked highly by anybody for anything. So I mean, it's cool, but I don't hang my hat on that. You know what I mean? I still got a lot to prove. I don't look at a number and say, oh, that's how good I am, or that's where I am. You know what I mean? I'm still working regardless. In my mind, I'm number one. And I'm just going to continue to keep working like that.
Well, and it's one of those things. You're always looking around at and learning from everybody. And you shared a really cool moment backstage with two very accomplished and talented individuals in the Street Profits. It was a nice little back and forth there and backstage in NXT. They've been pretty busy over on SmackDown, teaming up with Bobby Lashley, and whatever that faction is, looks like it's going to be a beast. As a faction, just kind of looking at the talent, those three individuals, how do they rank against the other groups in WWE? And would you ever think of lending a hand here and there? Help a friend.
Yeah, no, I mean, those are all guys that I'm very, very high on, and I know vice versa. I've been very high on Trick and I as well. I wish the best for him, and as of right now, my main focus is what I'm doing here in NXT. I'm focused on this NXT Championship run. I'm focused on holding the company on my back. I'm focused on that, so it's hard for me to kind of have one eye over here, one eye over here. A lot of people are doing that for me, thinking that Melo's doing it, but like little do they know, I'm just so solely focused on what I'm doing here in NXT, and that's being the NXT champion and defending this championship against Ilja Dragunov at No Mercy.
Well, and two, one of the things with being the champion, right, is the target on your back. You always feel like there's always someone. There's never a lack of challengers. At least it feels that way. There's always someone kind of ready to step in there. You've now held the title for a bit, and kind of through these arcs, as it were, during your reign. At this point in time, does it get more difficult the time goes on? Because there's always that saying of like holding on to the championship is more difficult than actually winning it. Is that true? Have you kind of seen that hold up?
Yeah, I mean, it's the saying is like when you win it, you start counting your days to when you lose it. And I mean, it's never been easy. I don't think, even when I was North American champion, I don't think holding the championship is never easy, because it's everybody coming at you that's at the top of their game. You know what I mean? No one's coming at you on a bad day. They're all coming at you to win that championship on their best day. And I think that that's a testament to how, I've been able to succeed as champion, is that even on people's best days, they weren't able to beat me. So, I mean, that's kind of how this is going to go. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to catch me on a bad day, or they got to have their best day be better than my best day. And that, that's been yet to decide it. I don't think anybody so far has been able to do that.
Well, now, speaking of best days, recently it's been kind of your match with Ricochet has been making the rounds again.
Mm-hmm.
You guys had, barn burner last time you guys got in there, and there's been some back and forth, and once that match comes back up, every time in socials, it's like, when is that happening again? You can always see it. It's like it's nothing. How do you look back on that match? And if Ricochet, you've been so frequent on Raw and SmackDown, and we've seen so many people in NXT, it now feels like it's a fair game. Like anybody can pop up anywhere. But you looking to maybe I don't know, would a sequel to that sound good to you? Is that something you're even interested in?
Oh yeah, I wanted it like the next couple of days after the first one, just because I enjoyed working with Ricochet that much, and going up against him, and I think he brought a lot out of me. He brought the best out of me in a lot of ways, and I think vice versa. I think that I gave him a lot of kind of a boost that he needed, just a confidence boost, because at that time he had lost the Intercontinental title, and he was kind of just doing here and there, little spot things here and popping up here and disappearing there and coming to NXT. And since then, he's been able to kind of get his feet back together and start making moves again. And I only grew since then. So I'd like to see this version of Carmelo Hayes versus that version of Ricochet and see what we were able to do with that.
Oh, for sure. A lot of fans would agree, would like to see. I know I got to let you go here soon. So, just two quick ones. We the picture started popping up of your visit to WWE headquarters, and the Shawn Michaels homage was nice.
That's his legit jacket. You know that was the legit jacket that he wore.
Oh man, so it's not a replica. It's actually the one. Oh,
that was Rock's $500 shirt. I didn't take a picture. I touched it and stuff, but I didn't take a picture with it. But the Shawn one, I had to, man.
And it looks awesome. And that stuff never gets old. Who does have? I mean, Shawn Michaels is up there as one of the most legendary superstars ever, but also like his entrance music, his entrance in general, like everything about that was like spot on. Which WWE superstar has your favorite entrance ever?
Ever? Oh my God. Ever. I mean, in a lot of ways, Triple H, man, because like if you look at my style, right, like coming up with the new entrances and doing sort of making the entrance a big deal, I think that Triple H like encapsulates that like big grand entrance feel in a lot of ways. I mean, next to the Undertaker, right? Like, he comes out, it's a real all eyes on him type of vibe, and he just comes out, he goes to the rope, look left, look right, drink the water bottle, moment. Head down. You know what I'm saying? It's just almost just like you can't take your eyes off him spitting the water. That's iconic. I mean, even everyone knows that. So I'd have to say probably Triple H. And he's been able to WrestleMania entrances and do cool different things. And yeah, Triple H for sure. Shawn's up there too, but yeah, Triple H, Taker, Shawn, all those guys.
Yeah, a few bigger entrances than like 5 of Triple H's. Also has the most. I gave my daughter has started taking an interest in my wrestling collection over here, right? So she takes them all off the shelf and plays with them stuff. And she took a little Triple H. It's like a little mini, but it was made to be where he spits the water. So it has like this little water thing. Yeah. And she goes, "What's that, Daddy?" I was like, that's a weird thing to describe.
Oh, right.
It's water he's spitting from his mouth. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And one last one. Who's your favorite music? Who has the best entrance music in WWE? All time or now? It could be anyone.
Okay. I'm gonna just give you right now because I think that every time Cody's song comes on, I find myself just randomly singing it gently and slow. Good song, man. The whoa.
I was gonna ask, do you do the whoa?
I just did it. That's all.
Amazing. Yeah, everyone does the whoa. It's like you can't. We're all sitting there at home and just whoa. Yeah, it's great. Well, man, all the best success. Cannot wait for No Mercy. It's a loaded card already, and cannot wait. All the best success on what's coming next, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Absolutely. And of course, you can catch all of our coverage on No Mercy and NXT every single week right here on comicbook.com.